Hi, you're again with Volleyball Explained podcast and our first edition of the podcast about the Italian League in 2021. Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year also to Ronnie and Nicola who are here, and we are going to talk in the next, I don't know how many minutes, about Italian volleyball, about the 15th, 16th and the 17th round, plus some of the postponed matches due to COVID. But before that, we will start this time with a topic which is very interesting and a little bit controversial, because in the middle of the season, the Italian League, the Italian Superlega changed the rules of the championship. What did they change? There won't be any relegating teams and in the end of the season. So the teams for the next season will be not 12, but 13. So only one team will promote, but no relegated teams in the end of the season. So that won't be any problem for any of the teams this season in the league, including Cisterna, which has the worst record so far. And the other thing is that in the playoffs, all teams but the last one will play in the playoffs. So all 11 teams will play in this in the final round of the championship. So, what is your opinion about that? First question, and just to start talking.
Yes, Nicola, you are the Italian guy. You are more close than anyone else here, so please enlighten us.
Okay, guys. Well, as you can imagine, it spread a lot of controversial here in Italy, and pretty surprisingly, a lot of people are against that. Even the one in those teams would have benefit from that decision. For example, Stefano Mengozzi, which is Ravenna's middle blocker and captain, when asked about it, he said he didn't like the decision, especially for his own team, because it's made by a lot of young players, and to grow and to improve, and they have to feel that every point and every game matters. And with that new decision, it doesn't. Actually, right now, winning or losing is not a big deal. Personally, I didn't like the decision, but I didn't count as a members of Lega Consiglio, so doesn't matter at the end.
Well, yes, sorry, I was adjusting my microphone. Yes, for me, it's an interesting topic, because all these are related to, of course, the well-known pandemic of COVID-19. As you can see, volleyball is not a professional sport in Italy, and they always use sponsors to mount a team during the season, and they depend of external money to make a team. So with that being said, the sponsors expect that his brand to be displayed a certain amount of day or months or whatever per year. And with the COVID-19, that isn't happening. Okay, you can in some way postpone a match and then play, but it will not be the same, because a team was in quarantine, the other is too strong, they will expect at least play 4 set, now it's 3-0. So again, if any team were like, I don't know, an NBA who have an organization and everything is run through the team and not by external sponsor, I think this change wouldn't have made. So because of the sponsor and the position of the league to attract more business every year to help the teams and go on, these are changes that has to be made. The only thing I agree with you is that they have come during a period that is not good for everyone, because we are playing right now the last part of the regular season, and positions are being determined. Like you said before, Ravenna was trying to stay in Serie A. Now they might lose every match left because they know that they will be in the playoff no matter what. Cisterna, that is a team that like Siena years ago had a little team called bad luck. They couldn't find a way to win a match after other, and because of that, they were a decent team, but they ended up like a mediocre one team. So I think with Coach Slobodan Kovac next season, they can do some damage. Or again, not to fight for I don't know 1-5, but at least 8-9. You can name it. But after all that thing has been through, it's a little bit of relief for them and for the organization to say at least that there will be no relegation. And yeah, that's it.
I'm trying to think about the reasoning behind this decision, and it is awkward. It is strange to do this in the middle of the season. But let's see what is the pro on that. The pro can be that the teams are not on equal footing. So some teams are hit by COVID, some teams are not hit. Some teams played all 17 matches like Cisterna, Padova, and Perugia so far. Other teams have only 13 matches like Milano. So the teams are not on equal footing. So in unequal conditions, they play in unequal conditions. But let's see the other point, that COVID is an awful thing, but COVID is like an illness like many others. So this could create a precedent where you can require from the league something to, I don't know, the
I know what you mean.
Yeah, but
if you yell so much, they will hear you. Okay,
yeah.
but it's not supposed to be like that. Like, for example, I was watching the game of Piacenza Civitanova, and every time that LUBE complained during a play, the ref stopped the game and just point for you. You can't do that every year. Sorry.
Okay, maybe we can go to the matches. Let's have this a topic about the rule change for now, and start with the matches. But of course, we can, taking into account the other topics, we can also go to the other things about related to this rule change also. So we have the 15th rounds, which has been played on 20th of December with Milano-Modena, a postponed match for 21st of January. Also, LUBE-Monza will be played then. Cisterna-Ravenna 1-3, Vibo-Padova 3-0, Perugia-Verona 3-1, and Trento against Piacenza 3-0. The rise of Trento carries on. Maybe Nicola can say some words about the Trento-Piacenza match, and then I will mention some of the postponed matches thereafter from the 9th and the 10th rounds.
Okay. We had a high expectation about that game. As I said, it was a clash between two of the hottest teams in the league at the moment, but it actually turned out into a monologue. Trento won easily 3-0 in 75 minutes, giving Piacenza no option, and ended the game with the 72% in attack, which is so far the best team performance of the entire Super League. As usual, Trento pushed from the service line, giving Baranovic an hard time setting up the right play. And unless the previous match, Finger wasn't a factor at all. And Cleveno also struggled. But the player who disappointed me the most from Piacenza was Musabi, or Musabi, however you want to call him. That was completely out of rhythm. And Bernardi replaced him during the sets, and then definitely from the third set. Trento proved to too strong for whatever lineups Piacenza tries to set up. Abdelaziz ended up with 78% in attack, Lucarelli with 72%, and both Podrashanin and Lisinat over 80%. When you have a team that play like that in attack, there's very few things you can do. Basically, Giannelli has been toying with Piacenza's blocks all the game, and it was a shootout, basically. Piacenza hit the 20s once, I think, in the second set, or I don't remember. Yeah, 21 points in the second set, 16 in the first, and 17 in the third. And that was the first great win for Trento, because I don't consider the 3-0 against Modena as such a great win. Modena was struggling at the moment, at the time, while Piacenza was on a run. So it was the first of many December statements, let's call it, from Trento.
I will mention some things about the match between Perugia and Verona, because Verona took a set from Perugia. Of course, the favorite won, but this set taken from Verona, for me, is the indication that if all their 7 players, because they play mostly with 7 players plus Sparouchov, are healthy and playing, they can cause some problems. Maybe not to win matches against the favorite, but to cause some problems. At least Mats Jensen, the Danish opposite, is playing, is improving to the matches, and he's lacking some other matches where he was not able to play. Was visible for Verona. So I believe that this rule change, let's go back to this one, can be very helpful for them to show that they can more in the playoffs than they have shown until now.
Definitely. They got a shot to the quarterfinals with the new rules, while with the old one, they wouldn't even be into the playoff. So, yeah, if there's a team that could be advantage of the rules, is Verona.
If Ronnie doesn't want to add something.
No, just commenting of the well path of Vivo Valencia, giving no chance to young team of Padova. It seems that Valencia can stay at least in 4th place. We will have to wait the epic comeback of Trentino in the next 5 games, but they are halfway through it because they won against the best, Perugia and Civitanova. So I think if, like I mentioned before in the chat, if everything goes normally and smoothly, Trentino will clinch that 3rd position, like everyone was, like everyone bet before the beginning of the championship.
Yeah.
Tomorrow afternoon, probably, because Trentino is 1 point behind Vibo, and tomorrow, on the 6th of January, will be Trento Milano. So hopefully Trento will get the 3 points and get the 3rd place from Vibo Valencia.
On the 16th of December, a postponed match between Verona and Piacenza has been played, and Piacenza won 3-1. Both teams were without their regular opposites, Verona without Jensen and Piacenza without Grosser. So Clevenot played as an opposite, so they changed. In the 10th round, there were 4 postponed matches played on 16, 17, and 23rd of December. Padova Ravenna 1-3. Vibo Cisterna, another win for Vibo and another defeat for Cisterna, 3-0. Modena Verona 3-1, again without Jensen for Verona, and one of the not so many wins for Modena lately. And the most interesting match of the postponed ones, Perugia LUBE, this derby match between the 1st and the 2nd in the championship, 3-2 for LUBE. Very even, very equal match and better attack for LUBE. I believe that the opposite's problem in Perugia is deepening because Atanasievich is not getting into shape. Secondly, they tried to play Thijs Hort as an opposite. He's principally playing as an outside hitter, and this is not working quite well, especially against the better teams like LUBE in this case. And also, I don't believe that the Canadian opposite, Sharon Vernon Evans, is on the level needed to play in Superliga, at least again against the best teams like Trentino and LUBE. And I would be happy to hear your opinion on that one.
Well, I think in the last years we have a tendency in modern volleyball, young players going out too soon to bigger teams, and they forget about this is a long way to stardom. I didn't think that Vernon belongs to organization like Perugia, with only 1 year being started in a team like Ravenna, who have big troubles to get a team during the off season, because they don't have much money and they only hire like young players to develop and then to I think send to other bigger teams like happened before with Maurice Torres or Bucheger or any other. Exactly. The poker of opposites with now Vernon be the fourth. So I think players have to think about more about their futures and their career, because you have this we no doubt a good talented player like Vernon, but he is in the right time to go a team like Perugia, and despite he make at least 3 or 4 points, that this team needs for sure an opposite. You can see the numbers. Atanasievi received 35 balls with coming out of a big injury. I don't think Travica is thinking too much about it. It's just setting the balls to hit to him to get used to his set. But against a team like Civitanova, is I expect that defeat, even when I knew that it doesn't matter. Atanasievi wasn't ready, and again after before that game in Champions League, 3-1. Again, Leon has to do all the job, but it isn't enough. You are playing a sport with six other guys and not just one. So yeah, it was expecting defeat, and I thought it was going to be 3-1. But again, they were playing in Perugia, right? They were in Perugia, and I think it's too hard beat that team in home court, despite the result. Okay, yes, we can say that Trentino won against them 3-1, but it was a game that it doesn't matter the result. The things will go and change in the tabella position. So we can argue again that Perugia wasn't too interested in winning that match against Trentino or LUBE Civitanova, but it is what it is, a defeat. And even with that, they are still in first place, so will be a hard battle, but that doesn't really care much because of the change made in the system. So yeah, for me, is that it?
Well, I think that taking back on Vernon Evans, it was a surprising move this summer when I saw that Perugia get him. But the reason is it's a young player and it's a cheap one when it comes down to the contract. So they have to to get a new backup opposite, because that was the intending position for him in Perugia. No one expected Atanasievich to miss so many games. So for his development, as you said, Ronnie, I don't know if it would better be the starting opposite in a team like Ravenna, or try to learn something from the great player he could practice with in Perugia. And about the game, I'm not so sure that Perugia doesn't care or didn't care about the results against LUBE and Trento, because right now LUBE is 4 points behind Perugia with a game to play, and the game LUBE Perugia at LUBE. So, I mean, the defeat against LUBE and the defeat against Trento put the first place in danger for Perugia. And despite the change of the rule, Perugia shown in the past 2 years that they need the home court advantage to win, because the last Scudetto finals, LUBE won in Perugia.
But that doesn't. Of course, you are making the point right. When LUBE won that Scudetto, they won all the games in home, of course. But the decisive game, when LUBE was trailing by 2 sets, and they flipped the coin, it doesn't matter if you're gonna win. You will get that win, no matter if you play away or home. Of course, nobody wants Trentino in the semifinal, especially this Trentino team that he's coming back from a long nap, like I say. And right now they are the best team. I mean, the best team in shape right now in the entire championship. Mm-hmm. So and they will do the same in Champions League, and they will hopefully get in the semifinals versus Perugia or LUBE Civitanova. I will say that with all the problems that have right now, Zenit Kazan, will be hard for them to be that other semifinalists, but let's see what happens in 2 months. And again, Trentino is coming back, but the season is not over yet, so we can do. I mean, we can predict things that in the end the pro players, the most experienced pro players, are on the side of LUBE Civitanova, and they will meet Trentino again for sure, even if in the semifinal or finals. And it will not be so easy like happened 3-0 that nobody cares. I mean, I don't remember the last time I see LUBE lose 3-0 was in Scudetto finals, yes, versus Leon team, and well, let's wait, let's develop more. So yes, both can continue talking about the others match, but I want to comment on that Perugia Trentino game.
Yes. Firstly, I totally agree that Trentino is the best team, taking into account their shape now. So in the last 4 matches, they won against LUBE, Piacenza, Modena, and Perugia. So this is all. 16 rounds played mostly on the 27th of December and the days thereafter. Cisterna, Perugia, 0-3. Modena, Trento, 1-3. Ravenna and Milano, it's postponed and the date is not scheduled yet. Monza, Padova, 3-2. LUBE Piacenza played today, 3-1 for LUBE, and Verona against Vibo, 3-1. Firstly, about Modena and Trento, it was a very strange match for me. Trentino, surely the better team, but they didn't play that consistently like for example, against LUBE. and also against Perugia. And this gave some chances to Modena, including one set. I believe it was the third set in the match. Modena won, but still a good match for Luca Vettori. We mentioned him often in our podcast, but Modena has great problems in position 4 with Petric, Karlicek, and Lavia. So, yeah, what's your opinion on that one, that match?
Everyone expected Modena to play better than 20 days before when they badly lose 3-0 in Trento. You said Trento won 3-1, a game that should have ended 3-0. The newspaper and the opinion said the same thing the day after. Actually, it was the set that Modena won that shown the big gap between the two teams. Because Modena had to play 110%, and Trento piled up a lot of mistakes. Then, once again, as you mentioned, there's a huge difference between the spikers. And if none of Petric, Karlicek, and Lavia went over 38% in attack, it's difficult to win, not just against Trento, but against any other team in the league. And Trento number Modena in blocks, and aces with a 2-to-1 ratio. So, and Dimir finished with 30 points. I mean, the set that Modena won was, how can I say, an explosion of pride for Modena not to lose 3-0 again, but it was helped by Trento, and in fact, in the ensuing set, Trento won it pretty easily. So I think that things are getting dangerous for Modena, because right now they are 8th or 7th. Let's check the... they are in the 7th place with 23 points. 14 of them had been won against Ravenna, Padova, and Cisterna, which are the last 3 teams. So another team that's probably happy that they don't have to fight till the last gasp to get into the first 8 is probably this Modena, because I don't think that they could click something and be a danger for the Perugia, Vibo, or Trento. The problem is that if you play like that, in the quarterfinal, you will meet one between LUBE and Perugia, and your season will be over.
By the way, there are some rumors that they will take for the next season Lukas Kampa, the German setter from Jaszewski Węgiel, and Mika Christensen will play next season in Poland, but maybe it's only rumors for now. Maybe they are going to try to release some financial, some money to take a better spiker. I believe that could be the reasoning behind such a decision.
Or buy a biscuit, at least, because these news are not, for me, not good for everyone, especially the players that play in the organization of Modena. You know, you are focused in this season, and then comes the possible news that a player like Kampa, you know, that is in the final years of his career, will come to Italy to play in such a famous team like Modena. You know, I also believe that, of course, Christensen is being misused by this team, and he will have to go overseas or find another offer in Italy, which I think is out of the table. I don't know if Piacenza have the interest on him after this season. They also are negotiating with Leal, but I think in the end Leal will choose to stay because of the relationship that he have with Rolando Simon. So I don't know. It's been a little strange week. So yeah, and of course, commenting on that Modena Trentino, it's okay to lose a set in this league. You see the game that ended 1 hour ago between Civitanova and Piacenza. Nobody expected that Piacenza win a set in Civitanova, but this thing happens. When a team start well the set, and the other team, like Civitanova in this case, make silly errors, they enter in a vorágine of errors, and you can win a set. It's okay. Now, the bad thing will have to be if they won 2 sets. That is a strange thing, but that doesn't happen, unfortunately. They lose the second, 29-27, and win the third, which for me is a little bit strange, because if you fight so hard the second and lose, especially the third set, you will not come so strongly, and they come strongly and win the set. So good for them, but in the end, Trentino won. And yes, of course, congratulations to Verona for that win in home versus Vivo Valentia. I wasn't expect that, but I think Matej showed a great display again, and Jensen is starting to be something that people will talk about, especially during this end of season. So congratulations, another win.
On the 30th of December, we had another postponed match, Ravenna against Trento, 1-3, and so this is I don't know how many wins in a row for Trento with this one, from the 6, 7, I don't know. Maybe with also with the Champions League matches there even more. So that's the last, I believe, postponed match. Let's go to the 17th round, played on the 3rd of January, so the first round for the new year. Padova Lube 0-3, Piacenza Modena will be played on 12th of January. Perugia Trento, the derby match of the round, 1-3. Verona Milano 3-1, another win for Verona. Vibo Ravenna 3-0. And Modena Cisterna 3-1, and again defeat for Cisterna. Let's start again with Trento and their win as a guest against Perugia 1-3. Very convincing match again for the team of Angelo Orinzetti. Maybe Nicola can share his joy.
Yeah, the joy, because it was the 10th consecutive win. If you consider also the Champions League, or the 7th consecutive win, if you just stick to the championship. It was not a spectacular game, and I think both of you could agree. There were a lot of mistakes by both sides, but it was an intense one. I think a lot of comeback, widening and shortening the gap. The game showed 2 main things, in my opinion. The first one is what Ronnie has been saying since October. Leon couldn't keep winning games alone. He didn't have a great game against Trento, but basically no one of the supporting cast, let's call it, shown up. While on the other side, despite Nimir's first 3 sets, both Lucarelli and Podrashanin made up for him and keep Trento on a good level, and then the opposite react and had a great 4th set. But I'm obviously happy for the win, but I was a little bit disappointed by the game itself. I mean, it was Abdelaziz against Leon in my mind. So the 2 best scorers, best acemen, most MVPs of the entire league. And it was we talk about pure volleyball, about a show, let's call it. It was a poor game. But there are those kind of games during a season, and you have to win it. And once again, I will underline Micheletto's performance, because starting from the 2nd set, Perugia keep on aiming at him from the service line and putting him under pressure. And the young guy didn't break. What do you think, Ronnie?
Especially when he only have two errors in recession compared to Rossini or Lucarelli that both have three. Was a better man that I think Nimir in attack with 58. Even, well, he only received 12 sets against 13 of Nimir, but this is normal, you know. The boy was there to use at least both Lisinak and Podraskani in the formation and to help the recession. I think that I don't think Koi have. So yeah, he keep improving, and this is good. In the same round, Marlon Jan of LUBE also play and display a phenomenal game. We will comment later about it. And yes, Wilfredo Leon is not a robot. I mean, he scored 2 aces, but made 6 errors. Nimir make only 1 ace and scored 5. So the both leaders of this team didn't show up, and I'm happy to see a player like Lucarelli coming back from these personal issues that haunted at the beginning of the season, you know, and now he's proving that he worth the money that Trentino paid for it. I believe he will pay that debt if he reach the finals. I think that Trentino is looking forward. So let's see if he can maintain the level till April. So yeah, about the other members of the Perugia, it's the same thing. All the time you can see the scorers. Leon with 16 points, and Solé was the closest one with 11. This can happen. I mean, Solé make 46% in attack, a bad percentage for a middle blocker. So despite the fact that he made 4 blocks, but you can rely in a middle blocker to help you to win the game. So where is Terhorst? Where is Sharon? Where is Plodinsky that had been missing since, I don't know, ages? So yeah, and because of that, I believe that Trentino had more weapons at their disposal to take care of the business and get the 3 points. That is the most important thing, because you can win 3-2, but it's not the same. They need to win now 3-0 or 3-1 to make use of this time team. Sorry, and that's what happened.
Yeah, Lucarelli should have been the MVP, in my opinion, of that game.
And
they gave it to Nimir, but Lucarelli deserved it the most, and it's playing a fantastic December. In the past, he's been the player, as you say, they paid for. It's shown in the past month, so I'm happy he's back on his best.
Adding to the comeback of Gianelli to the setter position, yes, Lucarelli has been the key factor of this team.
I would like to mention 2 things. So firstly, about Perugia, their overall attack percentage was only 4% efficiency. So 4% efficiency is awful. But this came from exactly mostly, not only from mostly, but from the opposites, because Vernon Evans had not only, because when you have 0% efficiency, it's not only, it's I don't know, it's nothing. And even worse, the percentage of Terhorst efficiency is minus 20%. So I believe that it was something like he had 3 kill attacks, but he was blocked 4 times and had also 3 direct errors in attack. So that's why it's minus minus percent inefficiency. So in simple words, that means that if he hadn't played at all, he would have been more efficient than with his attendance in the match, participation in the match. And about Trentino before the season, and I believe we talked about that maybe in the first edition of the podcast, we were talking about the fact that maybe Trentino can have some problems with the reception because neither Lucarelli or Dick Coy are good receivers. They are not famous with their reception. They are more famous with their attack and their serve. But we didn't take into account the X factor of Alessandro Micheletto. So with Micheletto, things changed a lot. So he's like one of the matches, I believe the match with Lube, one of the commentators of Rai Sport said he receives, he serves, he attacks, he can do everything. And it's only 19 years of age, a player, 19 years old. So it's truly amazing. I don't know what can we add more about this round, and maybe go to the ranking after 13 to 17 matches, like we mentioned before that, with Perugia leading 43 points, 17 matches, Lube 36, Vibo 31, Trento 30. What maybe they're going to have this third place tomorrow. Piacenza, Monza, Modena, Milano, Verona, Ravenna, Padova, Cisterna, it doesn't matter with the rules change. So probably Cisterna will be on the last place, and they won't participate in the playoffs, but all the other teams will be in the playoffs. So maybe we can also add that the first 5 teams will play directly into the quarterfinals, and the other 6 will play in the 8 finals, and 3 of them will play in the quarterfinals as well.
Exactly. So the run for the 5th place will be probably the most interesting one in those last games, if we consider the lower half of the ranking, because there are actually 4 teams that could aim at the 5th place: Piacenza, Monza, Modena, and Milano. And I think that Milano's got an edge because, I mean, they have 3 or 2 more less game than the others, and they probably get some points.
The problem with Milano is that they are without Patricio. So in this match against Verona, they played with. Actually, there are a lot of teams that season without their opposites, and they need to play with 3 receivers rotating on the opposite position. We had Verona doing this. We had Piacenza doing this. We had
Trento itself.
We had
when
Trento also, yes.
Acting.
Trento, Milano, and I'm not sure about the other teams because honestly I haven't
Piacenza.
watched. I haven't watched matches of Padova, for example. Maybe only one match, but I believe that Tonček Stern is playing, and Ravenna has Pinali. So this is the ranking. Maybe this will be the most interesting thing to observe. Which team will be 5th, and maybe if there is a slight chance for Cisterna to, but I don't think so because they have only how many 5 matches left from until the end of the regular season. So I don't think that they can compensate 7 points for only 5 matches. I don't think so. And that's the ranking. And now I believe that we can go through our traditional series during the podcast about the volleyball lessons of Nicola in Italian.
Yeah, it comes to the other 3 new words, and the first word involved an attacking solution. If you get a point by taking advantage of the opponent's blocking action, usually hitting his arm or his hand, you got the block out, which is money out in Italian. And the other two words could be related to, let's imagine a video check call, especially after a fast serve or spike, when you're not sure whether the ball is in or out. Ball in is palla dentro in Italian, and ball out is palla fuori.
Perfect. So we have money out, palla dentro, and palla fuori. And I believe that was all of it for now. Maybe we're going to have our next edition of the podcast in 2 or 3 weeks, and maybe 3 weeks, then again 2 in order to finish the regular season. So 2 further editions until the end of the regular season, and of course then the playoffs. I believe that this will be the most interesting part, and let's hope that there won't be any new COVID cases in the teams then, because that will be the most the most awful thing for the teams, because now it seems that the matches are not that important, but if we go to the playoffs and somebody is missing, that will be a very concerning thing.
But before that, don't forget, where is Coppa Italia? Where is
Yes.
what is the exactly date for the quarterfinals and finals and all that? I believe we will be in the end of January, something like that.
Yes, so far there should be the quarterfinal on Wednesday, the 27th, with the best game played at home for the first 4 seed 1 to 4 against seed 8 to 5 to 8. Semi-final is on the 30th of January, and the final the day after. So between the 27th and the 31st of January, we will have all the games.
Maybe we can do the podcast after that, because it is relevant despite the other games of the regular season left. Talking about the Coppa Italia is nice, I believe.
Yes, I believe that we can do one podcast after 2 weeks, maybe on the
Before?
league, on the
Coppa
league,
Italia.
on the league, and then before the Coppa Italia, and then one day after, because the last season of the last round will be, when will be the
7th of February.
Yes, there are a lot of times. So we can do several editions then.
Okay.
Because it's they will 8. Yes, there will be also. I'm seeing now that due to the postponed matches, there will be also a small pause, a break in. For example, the 8th round, the altogether. This is altogether the. So will be placed. Okay, so let's do it this way. Maybe after 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to have the next one, and then a special edition. Let's say it in this way, about the Italian Cup. Yes.
Okay.
Because that's also important with this new format, because we had before the beginning of the season, we have these preliminary tournaments which now make the situation even less understandable, because it's not just according to the ranking, it also according to who qualified in these preliminary tournaments and who didn't. Okay, that's for now, at least. Thank you again for your expertise in Italian volleyball, and for our listeners, I would like again to remind you that you can follow us, subscribe to us in YouTube, in Facebook, Volleyball Explained, Cuban Spike, Pioli di Volley, also in Twitter, in the case of Pioli di Volley. You can, if you are a fan of our content, of the Volleyball Explained YouTube channel and podcast. You can also support us in Patreon. Thank you a lot for watching us or listening to us or whatever, and have a very happy new year. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.